Yo,
What's happening, fellas?
what's happening, man?
Yeah, sweet.
How you doing?
I've
All
been
right?
on the top, man. Don't mind me. I've been to gym. I'm still sweating out. I did smashed it out this week, man.
Yeah, that's all. I think that's all of us, probably, bro. I imagine Howard's been there already this morning too.
Yeah, I'm still
Too
sweating, man.
warm,
So
isn't it?
yeah, nice to meet you guys, man. For anyone that wants to know my name, just call me AV. And you guys can introduce yourself.
Go for it, big man.
Well, I'm pretty sure everyone knows Howard.
You know
But
me.
So yeah, bare knuckle bullies. My name's Stuart.
nice to meet you, man. Nice to meet you. Yeah, just before we get you on, because we see a lot of your videos that you've been posting on your page. Quite interesting
Yes.
stuff that you've been doing. So yeah, just fire away, guys. Let's have a little chat and speak to the game, I guess. Speak to everyone
Yeah,
in the
man.
community. Get to know everyone in the community as well. So yeah, take control, guys. Let's just have a convo.
Yeah. Go for it. I mean, should I just explain myself,
Yeah,
really?
go for it, man.
So yeah, in the bully game, very new. I mean, less than 2 years. But as a dog owner, all my life.
Okay.
All my life. You know what I mean? I've taken dogs from 6 weeks to 12 years old. That whole entire lifespan, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And mainly working dogs, but the bigger end of working dogs, so Rottweilers, pit bulls.
Okay.
So the whole bully breed is, I'm pretty new too, but in terms of, you know, dog life,
Yeah.
second nature.
Okay, cool, yep.
Bare knuckle bullies, okay? What dogs have you got? Where have they come from? Foundation. That's
Yeah.
what's it about? It's we started with Khaleesi, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Then obviously you've got little Mr. Armbar over there, Ronda Rousey.
We've got Ronda Rousey,
You've got John Claude.
Jean-Claude Van
Now
Damme.
you've got the kennel.
Nice.
That's it.
Moving forward with the vision, you know.
Yeah, man. So
going forwards now. Good, great.
Yeah. So
we got.
I started with so Marshall was the first kind of contact that I had with the bully game.
Marshall's Aftermath.
Yes, Aftermath,
Shockwave,
King Marshall, King Kodiak,
Shockwave, old school bully,
Shockwave,
Monster, 180
Monsters.
streak.
Monsters.
Obviously, Aftermath, who everyone knows, most iconic Merle out there. Everyone
Changed the
knows
whole
that
colour game for everybody. Aftermath changed the whole colour for everyone.
Yeah. And I'd say Marshall was the one that drove it in the UK.
100%.
That bloodline, so we all know
100%.
what it's about. It's a little bit of a different look. They come from these monster dogs. King Kodiak.
Yeah, huge.
Dolly, obviously, it was Aftermath and Dolly that made Marshall.
Yeah.
Dolly is production of King Kodiak.
Yeah.
We've seen that dog. He's just like a fucking
Come on.
bull, isn't it? It's like that kid's getting
Giant, isn't he?
video of him. It's amazing.
Ridiculous. So yeah, I mean that is literally my first path that I took in terms of searching for a bully pedigree.
Okay.
So I was into the game. I decided, you know what, I need the bully. I need to be part of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can never, you know yourself, Howard. You can never show your pit bulls.
No.
For fear of them getting taken.
Yeah.
Now, so it's when this bully game come along, and I was a little bit slow to catch up on the trend, but when it first come along, I was like, fucking hell, I can show my dog off. I can work it, show it, and it's the actual thing. So from then I needed to get in. I knew. And yeah, so I came across Marshall's page, just call me Marshall.
Yep.
And I just fell in love with her straight away. I can't even tell you that it was that I looked at her and I designed everything. Do you know, I fell in love with her straight away. She was built so well, and she was solid, and I wanted a solid.
She's a proper bully, isn't she? She's tight fit.
She's proper bully, man.
You know.
She's so, yeah, I mean,
exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah, she's quite big, isn't it?
On mum's side, she's got a lot of juggernaut blood and a lot of old school strong lines, so she carries quite a lot of it. And she changed my whole life. Literally, that one dog changed everything for me. And from then I knew I was definitely going to go into the breeding, and I was definitely going to try and make this something that I could leave. You know, I wanted to really be a part of it.
Yeah.
And, yeah, man. That's my first introduction with my girl. And then I spent the best part of 12 months just being a single bully owner. We just had, my page was the immortal Queen Khaleesi. It was her and her. We were just showing her off, you know?
Yeah.
And then you get into it, you study dogs, you study blood, you study Howard, you start taking in all this information, and you think, oh fucking hell,
yeah,
I've got a bit of knowledge and an understanding. And I think I struck it really lucky getting the blood that I got.
Yeah.
So I ended up, as you do, if you follow a football team, you only follow your team. I don't know what Liverpool and Tottenham, Arsenal are doing. I'm a Spurs fan.
Yeah.
So I just studied her whole line and what she did, and I studied other litters that Marshall had. Regardless of the female, it turned out he had some really powerful traits that he would pass on, regardless of the quality of the bitch.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, that's a great start in terms of consistency for me to try and build something on. So I went all in, I invested. I got another girl from Marshall, different mum, Mary Poppins, super strong bossy blood. And that wasn't even the direction I was interested in taking. I just fell in love with mum. I knew what dad had produced, and it was in a lilac tri-suit, and I was like, let's go. So that was me too. And the plan was, to be fair, was to produce my first boy. I didn't want to buy it.
Okay.
I wanted to produce my first boy. I wanted him to be, you know, my product, my son. I've got 3 daughters. I've never had a son. This was going to be my thing, right? And it still will be. And then Mickey from Marshall, he phoned me up one day and he offered me John Cord.
Okay.
He said, and it's a co-own, so I don't own John Cord, right? Okay. But he's come around and he said to me, Marshall has never produced his exact colour, his exact frame as of yet. It's been close, but not bang on. And he said to me, this is the boy. This is Marshall number 2. I promise you he's going to be the man. So I said, you ain't even got to convince me. You're fuck all. I'm in. Let's go. And then that was it. I've got my foundation. I've got my 2 females and my male. I've got the same blood on all 3 of them, but they're all outcrossed.
Yeah.
So at some point for me, and I talked to Howard about this a bit, for me trying to introduce a line breed at some point, I'm good, in my opinion, as long as I get the outcross right, you know?
Great way to start.
So that's me into the game, man. Bare knuckle bullies. So I used to fight. That was what I did for a living for a long time. I used to then train some fighters, and I still do. So that was owed back to that in a little way. Yeah. But also, in general, in my own social media, I'm very gloves off. Yeah. I don't try and tell anyone about what they should do, but I give it to them real fucking straight, real honest. Yeah. So I was like, that's going to work for me. Bare knuckle, no padding, how it is, up front. So yeah, man, I went with it. Loved the logo, and I was super happy. And I just like hit the grinds, and I'm trying to do my thing, man. I'm trying to find out where I belong. Yeah. Because we all need to belong somewhere, right? There's got to be a vision.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true. We all find our path, and I hopefully, chatting to you guys, everyone will have a vision. You know, I'm sure everyone has a vision. I'm not trying to say people don't have a vision, but I'm new. I'm new to the game, so obviously listening and learning from you guys is, you know, I'm grateful for that. And I think that's what I'm trying to do, and what we're trying to do is not advise people on anything. You know, this page is nothing to do with advice. We're just having a chat and getting everyone involved, learning about everything, and taking on knowledge that we don't normally get from anywhere else.
I think this is the thing. You need to have the conversation, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So
well, you don't know the answer. What happens when you? Okay. This is why IG is different from Facebook, okay? Because on IG, it's a one-way thing. So you put a story out there, no one sees the DMs, do they? You just see what the person said. But while with the podcast, we can all look at each other's views, experience, and interlink it. We can learn from it, create better from it, have a better healthy dog, whatever we need to do. But we can do it properly. On Facebook,
of course,
you'll see the chats come down. You'll see people talk about it, and they're quite interesting to see.
Yeah.
But it's a mixture of 8,000 people all trying to get a word in. Well,
trying to get their word in, of course.
Just look at specifically yourself, what you think, what we think, and where this community is going as a whole. You think about it, 5 years ago, there wasn't many kennels. Now they're everywhere. And it's
everywhere.
Take it as a bad thing, let's take it as a good thing and try and do something really good with it.
Yeah. I mean, when I first started mine, and I'm in Essex, so when I first started mine, I was like, right, let me find who's in Essex. And there was a handful. And that was, 14, 15 months ago. Now, Jesus Christ, I could fit all of them in my phone diary. Do you know what I mean? There's loads of us in a small area. There's kennels everywhere, man.
That's a good thing. It's a good thing. Needs a positive. It needs a positive direction, because that's the thing as well. There's a lot of people getting bullies, and I think it's becoming like a fashion, and a lot of people want to get into this game and start something. So I think it's a great that, you know, people get on board and learn a lot of things. So people have a vision. You know, so when you buy a dog, you think you know what you're doing, but then when you face problems, you're struggling. You're like, where do I turn for that advice? You know, where do I turn for the help? So
this is the thing. This is it, right?
Yeah. Any
people only want to give out certain bits of advice. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you got any experiences in the time that you've been owning them?
What, bullies?
Yeah.
Rob, hundreds.
Anything that you want to touch on?
These are the funniest dogs I've ever met. I swear to you, the funniest dogs. They do the most stupid stuff. Yeah. Like, if I went in the room right now, they're on their backs, tongues hanging out their mouth, sleeping under a fan, and it's just like, yeah, they're so lovable, man. So lovable.
Very
and
true. Very true.
And I've got 3 of them now.
We're all on the same page. Let's just say we're all on the same page now, and we're all on the inside looking out. What is your perception in the area that you live in, on the outside looking in, for people that don't own this breed? Do you feel that you're discriminated against because you've got large dogs in the local parks, or do you feel that
100%, 100%? Where, like I said, I mean, Essex, they're still a little bit behind the times with certain things in terms of their opinion. So everyone local to me now knows how soft my dogs are.
Yeah.
But still, people would rather walk into moving traffic than run the risk of walking beside me.
Yes.
And I'm like, please look at the tail. Look at the tail. It's like a fucking wagging it around. And I'm like, I just want to say hello. But the perception is still, I couldn't, no way could I have a dog with a crop in Essex. No way. No way. It shut down the whole area.
This is the thing, yeah. In the UK, we're dividing counties. Each county's got a certain, you know, whatever it is about the dog. So I speak to some people, even with whatever you want to look at in any terms. So the certain county will have certain rules, a certain police will look at dogs in a certain way.
So I'm saying everyone in the comments is agreeing as well.
Yeah.
If you're in a rough area where everyone's carrying fucking guns and knives, like where I live, they don't seem to care about the dogs. They're just too interested in something else. They're like, I don't own dogs. And if you live in a really well affluent area where there's not much going on, it's like the police haven't got much time on their hands, and if the old lady you're on the road, they see some big scary dog, they're going to come and deal with it straight away.
You
know, it's a bit
like I can go down, I can take them down my street, I can take them around the area, I can go to the shops, but I can't go to the high street, to the main, like I can't go to Romford High Street and walk them through the middle of Next and JD Sports. I couldn't, because I would definitely have some sort of police come and say, these are dangerous dogs, what are you doing? Or someone would say something. I know that for facts. And that's upsetting in a way. But also I'm like, well, you're fucking lost. Because no one's ever met my dog and walked away unhappy.
Yeah, that's true.
Every person has always walked away happy after meeting them. Do you know what I mean? So you're lost, man.
Best champion.
Let me say one quick. Do you see what, See this t-shirt?
Yeah.
See what that says?
They're loving it.
All ball, no shit. I had to comment. Someone said something.
Yeah. That's a good one, man.
Yeah, I rock it around here.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
So what's your current thoughts on the UK scene? What do you think of the UK scene right now?
Oh, wow. What do you think?
I think what I'd like to say today, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart, with an open heart, and I'm not discriminating anyone, I'd like to say that I want people to understand a few things. That these dogs, after breeding, are only a third of the way through their lives, and they need to stay somewhere. And people say that, oh, you've got to keep them all. You can't. If you stop keeping all the dogs that you've got a vision through the program, you become a bad breeder because you'd have 35 dogs in a house. You know, so you've got to think about where they're going to go after. I've always said, and I've always stuck by it, and I promise you, my foundation will stay.
Foundation has to stay.
I wouldn't have the money to carry on. And if I just say I didn't have the money to carry on, can I still afford to pay 15 grand a year dog food? With all my, if every time I sell the dog out or I sell a pup, I put money to one side for their food for the rest of their life. So make sure I always pay for those vet dogs and all those dogs. It's a shame in the country right now, from what I'm hearing. I'd like to hear your input. What's going on with the fucking BSL breed and the insurance on these dogs? Why can't we get insurance? And when you do get insurance, it leads you down the garden path to say it's the American Bulldog, and then the vet says it's a fucking big pitbull and it's void. You get nothing back.
This is the thing.
We're on our own, aren't we?
This is the thing.
A single dad pushed to one side on your own. You know what I mean? It's like when let's just say you're 20 years old and you want to drive a Ferrari. You've got to pay some ridiculous fucking money. But if you adhere to the fucking speed limits, you can't. You're not going to crash it, are you? It's 30 miles an hour. It's 80 miles an hour.
This is the thing about insurance.
You know what I'm saying? So why do you have to pay the extra money all the time? It's the same in the bully game now. They frown upon you the second you pick up the phone. You go to certain vets in the UK now, these big, massive ones, and already, you know, you're fucked.
This is the thing, bro.
Someone said the other week, didn't they?
So listen, it's like what you said about
a big vet.
See about the insurance. See about the insurance that you mentioned, yeah? It's like the more expensive the car, the more expensive the insurance, right?
Are we getting on with the same?
At least you can get insurance. That's the thing.
Well, this is the thing. But what I'm trying to say is, yeah, so the more expensive your car, you're going to pay a more higher premium, yeah?
Yeah.
We've got these dogs that they are looking at, deeming at as more dangerous, right? Yet they're refusing to insure us.
Yeah, that's
so it's
true.
like they contradict themselves to go. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think Sparta's frozen there.
I think someone's messed his Wi-Fi up. Yeah.
Someone's sucking on the Wi-Fi, man.
Go on, man. So let's just carry on from what he was saying.
Yeah, I think it's frozen, so maybe he has to leave and then maybe rejoin.
There he goes.
Yeah, let me just get him back.
There he goes. Go on, man. So what are you thinking? What's your views as you said you're green at the minute? What do you think coming into the game right now? What's your opinion? Has it changed when you first looked at it from the outside?
To be honest, you know what? I'm in it for myself. I don't really.
There he is.
Yeah, you back, man. You froze up there. I don't have any views on anything. I'm just doing my own thing, and I just want to learn. You know, I'm that kind of person.
Yeah.
I don't really look. Everybody, you know what? Everybody's got a vision, and we're not anybody to justify anybody's vision. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we got to respect what everyone does, and you know, if they want to do something, you know, support. That's all it is. Support someone's vision.
Yeah.
We might not get what they mean, but eventually, I'm sure there's an end line, and I'm pretty sure. If you give time, people will see what we talk about, what they talk about, and say, you know what, he was right, you know, sort of thing. So, yeah, I mean, getting back on the topic of insurance, I was looking for insurance as well. And I think it should be illegal, really, because they talk about animal welfare, but if you can't get insurance on a breed, can you imagine how many of these dogs are suffering that because people can't afford to take them to the vets because of these expensive bills? You know, I think it's outrageous, really, because there's probably a ton of these dogs that you can't take them to the vet. Oh, it's going to cost you £500 just for antibiotics, you know, which is...
Well, we know that happens. We know that happens already. That's been happening for a long time, mate.
Yeah, so... I mean, they can try and say it's a bad breed, but at the end of the day, for animal welfare, it's still a breed that will need to be cared for. And I think by law, if they allow it as a legal breed, they should.
What I think is this.
Yeah, I agree.
If you're a breeder and you want to insure a dog, charge you loads of money, that's fair enough. But let's just say the government puts a certain breedership level of course that we have to train to, and once we've got that recognition, we can get the cheap insurance because we are a fucking breeder. Like it would be if you drove a car without a license and you're driving one with a license, 10 years experience, why don't we get some sort of, you know, it'd be better, wouldn't it, if it's regulated?
Yeah, exactly.
We're just left on our own, you know.
It's just literally it. It's just left on our own to fend for the breed while we're still figuring out exactly what they are and what they do.
Yeah.
Because as of yet, we're all learning, right? I mean, listen, some of us are more opinionated than others, and some of us voice our opinions, but we're all still learning because I've got 3 dogs, and they're from 3 of them. They're all from the same dad, but all of them are completely different. Different personality, different build. They like different food. They do different levels of exercise. All 3 of them. That's literally like, do you know what I mean? So we're all trying to figure out to me.
Do I take my dogs out all together? And I say no. I'm working with pairs. I find a match, which match together. Let's go with that. Game's different. They're all different. They all do.
Bro, there's a person over the road, right? And he says, "Why do you walk all your dogs together singly at different times?" I said, "Well, sometimes I need to spend one-on-one time with them because I need to figure out if this one has actually learned his commands or if he's forgotten. I need to know how this one reacts to a cyclist, And I can't do that in a pack, because in a pack there's one mentality that drive all of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So sometimes I take them out together. Most of the time it's on their own.
Yeah, true, very true. Yeah, going forward, what's your plans for your kennel, anyways, going forward? So have you got any breedings planned?
Sorry?
Have you got any breedings planned, like anytime soon? What's your vision?
Yeah, so Khaleesi's coming into season any time within sort of the next 6 weeks, and this will be her third, you know, the big one. So we had a stud lined up, and I say had because up until literally yesterday, last night, the whole plan's kind of changed a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's mad. You know what it is you can plan and plan, and then sometimes, what did Mike Tyson say, Howard? You can have the best planning in the world until someone punches you in the face.
That's it. Yeah.
And then fucking shit goes wrong there. So literally, I've had this stud for the longest amount of time. Loved him, rated him, everything. And I was going through some DNA yesterday. You know, we've got embark testing from mum and dad. I'm trying to figure out the head, and I was trying to figure out the potency of it, if it was diluted in any areas and stuff, right? Because I'm interested in that. And then I found out some shit. I phoned Howard, and he kind of explained some stuff to me about pedigrees that I was shocked that I didn't know, like super shocked. Do you know what I mean? And so it's put a little bit of a spanner in my works. I've still got to figure out if I'm going to use that stud now, and she's only 6 weeks away from potentially having to.
Right, let's just say you're the biggest kennel in the world, yeah, and you've got 50 dogs, yeah. You can afford you can afford to fuck up on a few breedings.
Yeah.
We're like us, and we're on our foundations, and the world's watching. And
this is it.
Scrutinising what you're doing because you're saying things on your page about the breeding, your vision, and a lot want you to fail. You've really got to say, I can't mess this up.
Yeah, I can't take.
You know?
If there's a 50% chance, that's too much for me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we've got to change it a little bit. But bro, let's touch on that quickly then, because I was always under the impression, like everyone else was, that, you know, a 2 times here and a 3 times here is fucking potent. That's what you want, right? You're doubling up on the strong traits. Now, I never thought about it on the other side. Okay. You have 2 times 1 dog, say Wonka here, and then you've got 3 times Woodbar over here. It's all connected.
Yeah.
And I didn't know. Howard was explaining to me that, because say, all right, let's go through the scenario, right? Khaleesi's got 4 times Juggernaut on her mum's side, yeah?
Okay.
So she obviously then carries Legion 2 times in that, because Legion is a son of Juggernaut, right? So the stud that I was going to use also shows up Juggernaut.
Yeah.
But he shows 2 times Legion.
Okay.
And then he goes on to show Frank Sinatra and Oddjob, which is all just consistent Juggernaut blood, right? All running down through these big lines. Now, I look at that and go, fucking hell, I've got Frank, I've got Oddjob, I've got this. I'm loving it. This is, for me, blood's going to work, I'm good.
Right.
And Howard explained to me that it doesn't always work out like that. And that blood can actually take over and dilute the strength.
Okay.
And
well, there is, you get dogs in the game, that you'll say to yourself this, my dog's got amazing structure, amazing joints, and guess what? Embark clear. Everything's going to be great. Well, that's like saying, in a human film, I'm healthy as fuck, I'm great, I'm going to go and have sex with me fucking half sister. And those dogs they're not quite the same. But when you overdo it too much in one go, then you're messing with chromosomes and shit, and everything just goes out the window a little bit. And then you say, I've got a litter of dogs that are very ill. They're having seizures, fucking tons of problems from overbreeding. And it's the same as, not even that, it's the same as when you look back on the original breed concepts and design. So when you go back to like the original Old English Bulldog, structured, taller, thinner, you know what I mean, to compare to what you see today in the dog. And then we'll see it in many other breeds. The Staffordshire Terrier never used to quite look like what it does today. It was a thinner, taller dog. You know, it overbreed for popular demand, really.
This is it.
You've got to sometimes say to yourself this, even if the pet isn't the same, is the type the same? So like some people say, I like a really wide spread. And you're like, yeah. And you breed 2 dogs in a wide spread together that are too wide. Then you'll get barrel-chested,
barrel-chested,
elbows, and a dog that's going to need surgery for the rest of its life. And you're like, I understand the vision, I know what you were going for, but fuck me, and a lot of people are bought into that, and them dogs all need to go to the vet for the rest of their life, and some might need putting down, and they could all have good joints, it's just that too much overbreeding into one type will create bad joints. You know, there's many things that we look at, like I said last week, bringing traits through. It's not in. The male origins of Marshall are not the male origins of KMX Lilo. Right?
No.
I would breed my male origins with those male origins, no problem at all. I'd do it because they're not the same. But what I said, when we looked at the KMX Lilo being what we know in Bulldog, you're going to bring those traits through. You're going to start bringing them through thick and fast. So someone said to me this last week, can I use game on my female, cash waiting? And I went, no. And he went, why not? I said, because it's the same fucking lines as my dogs, the same Bulldog origins. And they go, yeah. And I said, then I'm going to get the fucking blame. They're going to blame game. You know,
this is what happens. This is what happens.
Yeah. They'll say, oh, look at that load of fucking bad fucking kick tails on the shot. Yours and I'm like, oh, come on.
Well, this is the conversation I had today, yeah? Exactly. That's exactly the same conversation I've had to have with the potential stud owner today. And I said to him, you know, like, we don't have... I said to him, look, potentially, the stud is always going to get the blame. I'm going to lose my whole litter, potentially, if it would... Say it went wrong, yeah?
Yeah.
I would lose the litter. It's on me as a kennel. I'm fucking done for. But your stud's finished.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And so there is no one should ever take that risk. But the cost of money, everyone does take that risk.
Yeah. And it's the same with you'll see it in reduced litters as well. Usually, you'll start seeing with smaller litters, loads of issues. But I think with the outcross we've got, with the vast majority of bullies out there, we don't need to keep on whacking them into the same dogs.
No.
What you could do to dilute it again, if you like, Jug, you know, do they have any siblings? Half siblings even, you know, can I still bring some of that look in without so much pushing into that line? You know, there's many ways around it. Like I said last week, bringing Merlin, bringing Try in was the best thing you could have done to a restricted gene pool. We opened it up.
Well, this is the thing that we spoke about recently as well. Mo saved the Trier. Because the Trier was on its way to being pushed into the extinction because it was try on try for so long. And they've just ruined it. Some of the lines are completely ruined. And if Mo's come along and take everyone's attention, we'll still be doing that. Yeah.
Everyone beats tries to try. You won't treat a try to try. Look at this, right? Just from my point of view. I have G Unit here, and the way popularity's gone now, most people say G Unit's a worthless fucking dog. 2 years ago, you said because she's a ghost try, not a good try. And then someone said to me, breed it to a bossy dog or a popular dog, and I went, I'm going to breed it to a fucking ghost. And like, why? Full male try-carrying dog? Are you mental? I went, I might just make one fucking game-changing fucking male try out of it. And they're going, it's crazy. I went, but the structure of the dogs are perfect, and they meet each other's type. And they're going, I wouldn't have done it, I'd have gone for the money. So I took the risk. And the game's out there, and now I'm pulling back in blood off him for my program, and it helps the program. So you'll take a massive short-term risk for a long-term game.
And it wasn't even a risk for you really, because in your head you knew what you were doing. You knew it was the thing. It's for us outside, potentially we go, fucking hell, he's taking a chance.
Yeah.
But you know what you're doing, and that's an important point, man, because you have to know what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? Do you know there's a big difference, right? And I'll say it like in humans. So if two people just have sex and don't plan having a kid, chances are the kid's going to have a broken home, not the greatest start in life. Chances, average. If two people knew what they was doing and spent a year trying to conceive, trying to work for this child, chances are, again, averaging, you're going to go to a married family home, mum and dad are at work, and you're going to have a great start in life. Do you know what I mean? So we can't just throw dogs together like single parents, fucking from the council estate. We need to attack this properly with an actual plan before you even get a fucking dog. You need to have a vision or a direction of some sort. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, we fade into the extinction of each other. We blend in and become just a general bully. Do you know what I mean? No one stands out. There's no athletic types. There's no short types. It's just everything together.
So what would your advice be on people that are already coming to this game?
Bro, I don't
had a game plan, but now, well, what's your advice for that?
I mean, for a first-time dog owner, to be a bully owner, I wouldn't suggest it at all, to be honest with you.
Go and visit someone that's got some bullies. Them, right? And I've give people co-owners before now, and after 3 weeks, they say, come and get this fucking dog. I can't do it. And I'm like, I've got fucking 7, mate. It's hard work, isn't it? And you've got
This is the thing. Some people come round like, say I made a video recently about who's going to look after your dogs because you can't have a family life. Now, I've got a friend who can come around and look after the dogs for a day,
right,
or maybe a day and a night. But after that, he's fucking in way over his head because they soon disappear from being your mate's friendly dog to a full-on need a care and attention dog.
yeah.
You know what I mean? He's got to put that big dog on a lead and take it outside and walk it 5 times. He's got to make sure he feeds it this. So it changes, bro. Do you know?
It's like this now. You know, you'll know this as a personal trainer, yeah?
Yeah.
If you go to the gym for a workout and you don't work out, yeah, you're not a PT, you just have that workout, it's hard, isn't it? When we're doing it back to back every fucking day for 10 hours a day, and then our own workout on the end, and it becomes normal life. You don't see any difference anymore. Do you know what I mean? So some people come into the game and they start buying dogs like there's no tomorrow. And I look at them and I mean it in the most politest way possible. I'm like, just chill out, let them grow a little bit, because once they all grow, mate, you understand how many hours you've got to put into them, and it's going to become a lifestyle, and then it's going to overtake your life.
Yeah.
You know, you want time for anything.
Yeah, bro. So I was at the vets yesterday. With Khaleesi. So they all 3 have got to go for their vets, right? They said, "Do you want to come on the same day?"
Yeah.
At the same time, I said, "You are fuck. You think I'm going to bring 3 dogs to the vets at the same time? When I take 1, it's enough, bro. I've got to go through there. Everyone else wants to sit on the other side of the thing. Every time a dog comes in, my dog jumps up, and they think she's going to
get dragged around, man. You're always getting dragged. When I take him, he's pulling me. Trust me, I walk in there with a sweat. I walk out even. It's mad. They got so much power, man. And the thing is, I think because there's so many people around, he's friendly as hell, so he likes going and greet everyone. And you know, it's like he just drags you around.
Everything's escalated with a bully, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everything is like times 10.
That's it, man. People are like, "Oh, nice." You're like, just man, I don't want him jumping on you and stuff like that. But they're just so powerful. They're powerful dogs, and I think you know, for people that have these dogs, hats off to them. I love mine to bits, and for people getting into it, just get advice. They're quite heavy duty.
I think there's a massive divide between the UK and America in the terms of dog ownership and not breeding. Okay.
Yeah.
I think the UK people, and I don't mean it bad towards Americans, are just different types of people that own dogs. We do different things with our dogs. You know, it's more about, America seems very glossy in terms of productions and breedings, and they made this breed. But while the UK are more, it's more like the home life and the craziness of the dog. And, you know,
much more.
Goes out in the midday sun, only much more. Englishman. Well, in this case, the Englishmen have dogs, and we're a bit crazy. And we do put everything into it, but at the same time, we're being monitored now by the general public. And we're not in America where it's a normal breed. We're in the UK where we're being watched. And then, you know damn well the government are watching us right now, saying, just see how they get on. But they can only hit us with statistics. It has to be a statistic. Through the insurance companies or the tax. They can't just come at you and say, we're taking your dogs, or we're going to restrict it or control it. We've got to show the general public that we can do it. So when some people sometimes, and they've field and they've got 7 dogs off the leads, I panic. Because I think, not their dogs fighting each other, but what if someone else's dog comes into play, and then what if they defend themselves, and what if it's going to lose next week? I'm more scared about other people's dogs than my own dogs.
This is the thing, bro. This is the thing. So I always say to them, because no matter where you go, what park, what field, there will be at least 10 Frenchies, right?
Right.
In every single park, there's 10 Frenchies. They all come wrapping around and they say, "Is she okay?" I said, "She's absolutely fine. She won't start nothing." They say, "What do you mean by I won't start anything?" I said, "Well, she won't instigate any trouble. She's super happy. But if your dog bites her or nips her, she will respond. Because if I'm walking down the road and me and you having a conversation and we're getting on fine, I'm good with you. But if you punch me in the face, I'm going to fucking respond." So, and I'm saying to them, the difference is if she responds, she's super heavy and powerful. So if your dog's okay, my dog's absolutely fine.
How much is yours weighing?
She went to the vets yesterday, so she's 52 kilos on the nose.
Wow.
But she's balanced out now. She won't get any bigger than that, I don't think. I think she's found her ground now.
Okay. And what's your feeding like? You feed raw, obviously, I'm taking it?
Yeah, so we're all raw fed, straight from pup, straight from 8 weeks once we got them. But I feed Khaleesi once a day.
Okay.
And a lot of people told me, "Bro, you can't do that. They need feeding throughout the day like an athlete." And I said, "Well, I've trained professional athletes all my life. I can tell you athletes that eat every 2 days and win gold medals and look amazing. So don't tell me what you don't fucking know.
Yeah.
So she didn't want to eat twice. She didn't. It was too much. She would leave half a bowl and half a bowl.
Yeah.
So we do all of the work throughout the day fasted.
The problem
so we
with
don't have any breakfast.
The vets only read from a Victorian handbook that's been in the
Is that it?
Yeah, no experience.
Do you go to a GP and he says to you, I went to a GP about 3 years ago and he said, step on the scales, right? Got on the scales, about
overweight.
10. And he said to me, you're 4 stone overweight. You go, you're going to kill yourself. I went, I've got body fat about 10%, mate. And he's like, but my books. I said, your BMI book is effective.
Your book.
Fuck all. And the same with dogs now. You say, your dog's with that. And the vet's going, it's overweight. Why? Because this says. They don't understand the breed. They don't even know what the breed is. So you have to explain to them, it's a crossbreed of multiple dogs designed for muscularity and what it is. You know, otherwise, you're talking to a fucking brick wall sometimes. And the thing is, as well, you can go to 6 different vets and get six different diagnoses or 6 different. When you look at the breed, it's a shame. I always say try and find a bully-friendly vet.
That's another great thing as well. But but listen, she feeds once a day and she works perfectly fine with that. She's not overweight. She's not skinny. She's bang where she needs to be. You know.
So your one meal
down in the evening, she's straight on it.
So that one meal is obviously more than what you would feed a standard one meal, right?
So we took time and we figured out what she wanted and what she needed.
Okay.
So she'll have everything. So she'll have a kilo of mince,
right?
Usually mixed with tripe or whatever the mix is for that day.
Nice.
And then all of my bits on top. I'm heavy into organic, so she has oils, all sorts of oils, salmon oil, coconut oil.
Yep.
You know, everything. She has the nuts, her seeds. She has her berries, her veg. So she gets one super nutritious meal, everything she needs. And that's it. She goes off back to bed because she's worked all day at night, and then she's done till the morning.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Do you know what I mean?
That's good.
And it helps me regulate because everything is on a schedule in the house. Everything with the dogs. So by feeding her once a day, also it helps me regulate. I know exactly what time of day she shits. I know.
Yeah.
And by that, I can work around my other dog's toilet needs. You know what I mean? There's all these little details that come into it that you only pick up through fucking experience.
That's it. That's it.
You can't teach that.
I've done 3 meals a day. I've done 2 meals a day. I've done 1 meal. Game eats 3 meals a day. Sometimes every 2 days. You know, G-Unit eats twice a day. Well, at the moment she's eating 5 times a day because she's pregnant. But Ghost eats once a day. And I look at the coats. I look at the way they react. I look at and I see what's different about it. I put my dogs on dry food about a year ago as an experiment just to see what would happen. Yeah. And for me, it wasn't no good. From what I'm seeing raw. So there's many things we can do, but it's about the experience. And it's shared stories that gets us through it.
Well, first of all, I was fucking Gordon Ramsay in this kitchen when I first got that dog.
Yeah.
Because I had livers, kidneys, all on spleen. I was slicing fucking things up. Honestly, I was going full on garnishing in it because I'd sucked into IG. I just sucked into it, and I was like,
going further than that. Okay, it doesn't matter. This is the truth of the matter. It doesn't matter how good your dog's hips and elbows are. It doesn't matter if it's embarked clear. It doesn't matter if it's eating the Gordon Ramsay version of fucking food if it ain't getting out to do any fucking exercise, is it? We need to fucking get these dogs out fit and healthy for longevity. Like I said to you, didn't I, about the whelping. If they've got a strong core, labour can last 2 days.
Of course.
Okay? You've got the first stage of labour, that's about 24 hours and the temperature drops, they're panting. They're not sleeping, they're usually just panting. And then they start to give birth. We could have 12 puppies coming every hour to 2 hours. It's crazy. A 2-day experience.
Yeah, it's intense, man.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Give up and say, I'm not pushing no more, I've give up. You know, they do. Don't get me wrong, it is natural to have a rest in between halfway. Typical labour, 12 hours, 6 hours in, they'll have a rest for a few hours and they'll carry on again. But it's great to get them in good shape, you know, because it's be living in kennels and not doing nothing, but having this amazing diet. You know.
This is the thing, bruv. And I put a post up recently about treadmills and slap mills just to get an opinion on, is it still a good exercise or is it lazy? Is there a better option? And still it was 50-50 pretty much. Do you know what I mean?
The thing is this, okay?
No, today.
Now, you're in the house. I ask you to go in the back room, stare at the wall and go on the treadmill,
Oh, fuck, bro, not for me.
Or if I said,
not for me.
Come in the field, views, mountains,
bro,
clear air.
Listen, do you know how hard it is to stand on a treadmill in the gym looking at a nice lady in yoga pants? Even that's difficult, bruv, yeah? 45 minutes.
Yeah.
You want me to put a fucking wall or a garden fence? Nah, I'm out of the game, bruv. Not for me.
That's it.
Not for me.
What about your advice on supermarket raw? So just getting chicken from supermarkets, livers from supermarkets, you know, your chicken legs. What's your advice for that? How can you put that together?
People need to understand bone content before you
do
any of that.
That's it.
Your bone content, your ratios, and how to add it up so your dog's getting 10%.
Yeah.
If you feed calcium, you fuck up the elbows, okay?
Okay.
Most commonly spinal process in elbows, you have dysplasia, sometimes in hip alignment. So too much calcium, especially like pregnant females, preeclampsia, too much calcium. So you've got to think about how to work it out.
Yeah.
So we need to get some, I'll get some information up soon on the ratios of bone to meat. So you'll say, let's just say now a duck foot is 40% bone, okay?
Yeah.
If you've got a block of meat that is just chicken, okay?
Okay.
And it weighs 1 kilo, and you put it to a kilo of duck feet together, you've got 20% bone.
Of course.
Do you see what I'm saying? That's too much. 20% is too much for a dog. So people need to understand. If you go online, just put bone to meat ratios in foods. It will say every single type of bone meat out there and what's in it.
So what on the other end of the scale then? What happens with the underfeeding bone? What happens because there's some bully owners as pups that are scared to feed the actual bone. So what happens when you underfeed the bone?
It depends what you mean by the bone, right? So what it's like if you're saying I don't want to feed bone because there's bone in it, and it's a joke, you can go and buy eggshell powder, right?
Okay.
Which is like it's like calcium, same as calcium carbonate. What you do with it is it gives you a daily routine the size of the dog's weight, the dog's age, and you put that much in, whether it's a puppy and adult, weight to ratio, mix it, and it's just a tasteless powder, and there's the calcium that you need in the normal food. But you've got to remember as well, we're acting the offal too. It is a lot easier to let the professionals make the food for you.
On a complete 80-10-10, yeah?
You know, you've got to think to yourself. Yeah, let me just tell you a quick story. When I'm not sure if I said it last week or not about dog food and coming into a raw shop. Did I say?
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
About what to buy and what the meats are.
Yeah, yeah.
So you walk into a raw shop, and I'm like you for personal trainer's mentality. I've gone in there, I was stood there, I was looking around like that, and I went, I've never fed raw like this before, but I've heard bullies better to it. I've always fed dry, or I've fed raw in the past, but it wasn't like that. I was just my dad's pub, I just eat steak. So I said to the nurse, I said, so in that bag there, there's beef chunks. And he went, yeah. I said, they're £4 a kilo. He went, yeah. I went, is that human grade? He went, no. I went, that's just dog grade. He went, yeah. I went, that's beef 80-10-10. That's offal and bone. He said, yeah. I went, it's 1/3 of the price. Why is it 1/3 of the price if there's all that extras in it? And he went, I don't know. I said, so I'm assuming it's just a really bad part of the fucking cow, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a really low grade meat. And he went, possibly. I said, well, it's got to be. So that is the downside to it. The
there you go.
You see in these complete meats usually aren't the best.
Exactly.
Same as everything. Yeah.
You know, they're not
that's
you can
my
go to
point.
Tesco's. Yeah.
Yeah,
bonus.
that's my point, and that's why I asked you because
but how many dogs have you got?
yeah.
Right.
But
it's costing me 15 grand a year now to feed these fuckers.
That's true.
And that's 6 dogs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could I, if I went to Tesco's, it'd be 30-40 grand a year, and my wife would probably have killed me by now.
This is it.
Yeah.
This is it.
No, I get your point, but is there no alternative way of getting that from Tesco? I mean,
the best meats you'll find in Tesco's are chicken legs, chicken wings, okay?
Yeah.
You get a big tray of them cheap. You'll find beef mince, 20% fat. If you're feeding a raw diet, you're not feeding carbohydrates. They need the fatty acids.
Yeah.
You don't get the fatty acids in the diet, yeah?
Yeah.
You've got no energy in the dog. If
Yeah.
you've got no fats in the dog, you've got no glossy coat, his hair's going to fall out. They use sepsis and pyoderm, all sorts of fucking, dermatitis and things like that from dry coats. So you've got to think about what you're feeding with the fat ratio too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Raw diet food is always full of fats. They need those fats.
Yeah.
Dogs don't get high cholesterol like humans. You don't get heart disease like that.
Okay.
You feed as much fat as you fucking like. It's not going to give you a bad heart.
Okay. So,
but if you're feeding carbohydrates in the food, right, like a lot do,
yeah,
then the fat is the primary source of energy. It's now secondary source. The
There you go.
first source is storing as fat. Your dog's getting fat. If I'm eating the same calories, it will be without it.
okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and that's just physiology. That's just human or animal. That is just factual. That is.
Sure.
But if they're out there burning it off, what does it matter?
Yeah.
You know.
But they have to work harder.
Yeah, very true.
This is why I do fasted with my dogs most of the day. So when we get up in the morning, their energy levels doesn't come from their morning breakfast. It's come from their fat reserve, and then I just replenish it with the food that they need to go to the right places. Yeah. It's just the same as working out. You don't eat them. You don't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
no, let's just explain why this is like.
I don't eat a meal in the morning before I go gym. Go on empty stomach.
I got empty stomach as well. I've not eaten since 7 o'clock yesterday, and I perform a lot better. People say eat in the morning, this and that. All I've had after gym, protein shake, banana, and yeah, I can go without eating. I find it better. I'm a lot lighter, more active. I find it very.
You talk a lot because people obviously are into the game for the money as well, yeah?
Sure.
Let's just think about something for a start. There's that many bullies in the UK now where we're kind of like, everyone's got a few. We're only going to start dealing with each other soon because not many newcomers are coming to the game now. They've all bought up.
Yeah.
With the demand that's there at the moment, it could get more popular. So the foods that you eat, the exercise that they do, is going to be that little extra 10% that's going to get your food out there. The female a demand from. We all look at the pictures of Victoria's Secret from Bossy sat there, ripped to fucking shreds, looking beautiful, but we look at the muscles more than the face. So it's those little extras that's going to get you that more money in your litter as well. So you've got to, you know, investing in your dog it'll pay you back in again. So it's fucking hell, you pay £300 a week on dog food. But then you look at the dogs, the muscles popping and the physique on the dog, and maybe that's a little bit, that's why you get a little bit more money, you know, from your litter as well.
Right.
So it pays you back. You get your money back. Don't worry about spending it.
Yeah. So you can have a dog with good genetics easy, and it can do the work for you. It can grow up and just be shredded and ripped. Right. But you also have to put that extra work in yourself. You have to get up earlier than you would do. Yeah. You have to always be tired just to make sure that dog's got his rest. Do you know what I mean?
It's like, you know what I said to you the other week about preconceived notions? You know, like as a PT, right? Somebody, like I said, somebody will come into a room, and I talk about bodybuilding or whatever. They say, why do you come here today? And they say to me, I want to get in shape. And I say to them, right, what do you want to do? What are your targets and goals? And they tell me. And then they say to me this, but I want to get big, but I don't look those fucking dickheads in the gym out there. And I go, wait a minute, those dickheads don't eat fatty food, they don't drink alcohol, they train.
They're grafting. They're fucking grafting.
Don't have that attitude. And when you come into the bully game, don't have any attitude about any other people's programs and what they're doing. That's down to them what they do.
Support and respect.
Yeah, but you do have to,
I know people that want heavier dogs. That's not for me. If you want a big, chunky dog, crack on. It looks good. I like it, but I don't personally want one.
Yeah.
So I'm literally, you can have your own lane, because I'm not saying that I'm doing this anything different from anyone else, but in my head, I fucking am, because it's specified to me. So you can crack on, do your thing. I'm going to crack on and do mine. Yeah. That's all it should be, man. That's all it should be.
Yeah, definitely support each other, man. You know what? I'd love everyone in this game stand by each other, support each other, and
I'll tell you what, though. I'll tell you what quickly, just AB, right? Because we sit here now, and it always seems like we're saying we need to do more, but bruv, in my messages, in my inboxes, is so much love.
Yeah.
I have to say that. As much as we say that in the game, we've got to do more. I get so much love and kind words, but like people taking time out of their busy kennel to write me a long message saying what they think I'm doing right. That's fucking incredible, brother. And we have to give love to that, because I think we are a better community than we actually say sometimes publicly.
That's
do you know what I mean?
That's it. I do the same, so I feel obliged to then push these guys to other people to say, listen, I want to help you too.
I think that's what it is. I think a lot of people have a sort of like what they see is not really happening, because I get a lot of kind messages on a daily basis on this page, and a lot of support. I mean,
That's it.
I find it very hard to believe that, you know, people are like this, people are like that. Everybody should just support. I reckon there's always a good side to everyone. And
it's the same thing.
taking time to speak helps each other. I think that's all it needs.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, do you know what? It's like with the videos that I started to do, yeah?
Yeah.
Like, it's literally, it's just me in the field with my dog, and I'm just voicing something that might have happened to me personally that I think we should talk about, or a discussion, and that's all it ever was. I didn't try to do anything with it or reach anyone. And I swear to God, I've got reshares and reposts, and I've got messages saying, bro, thank you, because I go through that. My wife is always against me. She don't realise how the struggle is, or my kids haven't gone on holiday for 5 years, and they look at me like, Dad, why is my friend going on holiday? And I'm trying to tell them because I'm building a future. Do you know what I mean? And people really supported that, and that was amazing for me because I was overwhelmed by the whole support. I really was. Like, I wasn't ready for it at all.
Okay. We got a question here. Does anyone use CBDs?
Do you know what? I tried them with my other dog.
Okay.
So I had, like I said, I had a pitbull, and she had to go recently. We had to let her go and say goodbye to her. But she was super anxious all the time, even as a youngster, just anxious dog. So we tried CBD, we tried all of that. And to be fair, it does work. It does work, but I only think you should use it if you have got a real high anxious dog. Do you know what I mean? So with sleigh nuts, it's usually a single dog on their own with separation issues. That's usually when the CBD is going to come in and kick in for me. But
great time to CBD, guys, and you can buy similar herbal sources from the pets at home. It's bonfire night. But you know what I do? I take my dogs out before bonfire night because some cunts will set the fireworks off anyway. And then not as many. Get them integrated to loud noises. The radio on full blast on the night anyway, but just try and get them used to it. I showed a video last year in the
noise association, so important. So important.
Going off everywhere, and G-Unit only responded to some man talking in the back garden. She started growling because that's what she responds for. She's trained to respond to people's voices at the back of her gate. Because I've had 6 attempts when people chat about my dogs. So, but
why not just saying, look at the pretty lights? Because we do distraction training, same thing from 8 weeks old, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, distractions. So if you're eating, I'm going to be banging cupboards and dropping pots and pans around. I do this, do you know, so we can focus on the job at hand. Do you know what I mean? So honestly, they just look up out the window and look at the fireworks in the sky.
That's good advice as well. What about for water as well? Someone messaged and said they use distilled water, mineral water. What were the thoughts on that?
Do you know what? I grew up in London. I grew up on a council estate, and I grew up swimming in the Thames. And I think I'm good as gold on drinking council water. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure on the actual benefits of distilled water. I've never gone down that path. I'll be honest with you.
I'm pretty sure they add it to the normal tap water, anyways, isn't it?
I think you can go overboard with some things.
And besides meat, what else do they need on a daily for the diet?
Your dog needs a balanced diet. It's that simple. You can't feed your dog chicken complete because it's not fucking complete. Okay? So all you've got
have to add to the complete
chicken, which is just high in amino acids and phosphorus.
Right.
So when you look at, all you've got to do is Google, right? Just because there's no point in me explaining it. It'll take hours. Just go and Google what's in meats. Some of the meats are pretty the same. You know, like lamb and beef. You might see a similar thing there. And you might think, whoa, I'm feeding 50% lamb, 50% beef, and there's a lot of iron. And then my dog's in red, dark, funny shit, and I'm panicking. But it's not. We are what we eat. You're shitting it out. You eat too much tripe, you can have a green shit. And that's just nature's way of saying, stop doing it. If you eat too much chicken, it'll be a yellow shit. If you eat too much bone, it'll be a crumbly shit. So what we do is this diet, we balance it out. Chicken, turkey are the same kind of meats. They're great, they're full of amino acids, they digest all the fucking protein. And then you've got load of phosphorus in there, and it's a great building block for the physique. But we do need some extras, and the 10% that they put in the offal, in my opinion, for the medical
not enough.
Isn't enough. Nowhere near enough. And they need more protein, they need more bone as well. I think personally 15% bone for the bone density of an American bully is where they need to be. I think 10%, just feeding that every day, with 80-10-10 chickens, you're going to get coat issues, you're going to get maybe bone density issues. They're not going to be a strong dog. So we feed a little bit of everything. So if you want some darker meats in there, just think of white and dark, right? You've got some white meats, chicken and turkey. You've got some green meats as tripe, and we've got some dark meats, which will be a little bit darker, but would be duck. And then your
fish comes into your white meat as well, yeah?
What's that?
your fish comes into your white meats as well.
Exactly the same as that. I don't feed fish personally, but
at all.
No, because I've got the same. Fish to me is high in omegas.
Yeah.
The omegas are in the tripe, and they love tripe.
Yeah.
When I've started feeding fish, some like it, some don't. So I just thought I don't want to. So they just didn't do it for me personally.
Yeah.
I like all my dogs to eat the same foods. If let's just say I fed Ghost and she a different meal, she protects her meal, pushes one side, and stand in front of it as if I've got something different to you. You're not having it, and it costs murders. So they all have the same kind of food, unless you've got a fussy eater. But a day a fussy eater, I mean, he'll have the same. He'll just have whatever they like and work around the dog.
Yeah.
My dogs don't like a certain food. I'm not going to push on them. You know
Yeah.
I've only found one thing they don't like, and it's banana. Other than that, they're good with everything.
What's your thoughts on veg as well? I see a lot of people add vegetable to their dog food.
I add veg and fruit. But I don't do it daily.
Sure.
The difference would be, to me, I don't feed veg, but that's my personal opinion. Inside the veg, people say, what are we feeding in the veg? The abundance of what's in the vegetables, let's just say you've got vitamin C, you've got fibre. Fibre is going to be compacted in the bone anyway, which is the same similar effect. You've got vitamin C, which you're going to find in liver anyway. So to me, I get it from the diet anyway. That's what I'm saying. So some people in this game will feed supplements, okay?
Yeah.
But your dog don't need supplements for somebody in the diet.
No, not at all.
Supplements, you're over-toxifying the body, and you're breaking it down, you're killing the cells, and you're getting cancers and death. You know, it's as simple as that. You know, it's like if someone comes to me in the personal training world and they say, "This is my diet. All I eat is chicken nuggets." You're gonna need a multivitamin, aren't you? If you've got a balanced diet, you don't need the multivitamin.
You don't need fuck all. Of course you don't.
It's that simple, really.
Yeah.
We've got
what do you do with
We've got 2 minutes left of this live. What's your thoughts? Are you guys done for this live? Are you guys done for the day? You wanna?
I want to talk if I get a chance, because a lot have asked about paston training, and I'd like to talk a little bit about why I put Paddy to Spectra and line breeding if I get a chance. If not, I'll do next week. It's not a problem.
Yeah. I mean, I'm quite happy to jump on another one, and then when we're done talking, we can always end it.
To be fair, I'm gonna have to wrap it up. I'll have to wrap it up and then join us next week or during the week or whatever. Yeah, man.
Completely respect that, man. So
listen, it's been a good hour, lads. I've enjoyed everything.
It's gone quick, man. It's gone quick.
I appreciate it. And I appreciate all the comments as well, and everyone else in the message board, man. It's been good. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
We've got one more comment. Does anyone want to touch on that? I've pinned it at the bottom.
Oh, listen, any PT will tell you, don't come at me with a diet plan, bro. Every diet plan I've ever written for a human or dog has never been followed. So I just tend to stick away from it, to be fair. There's plenty of nutritionists that will definitely help you out, but not for me.
Okay. Anything else you want to touch up on this one here, guys?
I think I'm good, bro. I've got a dog at my feet.
All right, man. Well, we got a pleasure having you, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Much for joining us, man. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, let's do it again.
Definitely.
Yeah,
next week we'll jump on one. Yeah, it's been a pleasure knowing about you. At least I know who I follow now, and understand your sort of vision. So great for joining. Hats off to you, man.
Nice one. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'll see you and catch you next week, mate. Hopefully.
See you, bro. Nice one.
See you, mate.
Cheers, man.